Regular viewers of the channel may be aware that I had done a crew commentary video for Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Well, I had such a good time doing that and really enjoyed talking to people like Dan Riba, Kevin Altieri and Brad Rader so much that I decided that I'm going to try and get some commentary for specific episodes. So here is the first commentary track that we have recorded. It's just Dan Riba and I sitting down, watching Robin's Reckoning, chilling out and just discussing the episode. Now I have to apologise in advance because the way I had it set up, my microphone periodically picks up some of the dialogue from the episode. Really sorry about that. I'm going to try and fix it for future episodes. For those that have never joined in before, all you need to do is basically have your episode ready to play and then press play when I say, and then we should be in perfect sync and you can hear the thoughts of the people that worked on the show. So the introduction's out of the way. Get ready to press play in 3, 2, 1, now. Hello everybody, welcome to this commentary track for the Batman the Animated Series episode Robin's Reckoning Part 1. I'm joined today by BTAS legend, Mr. Dan Riba. Dan, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Dan Riba, character designer on the first season and director as well. And I have little to do with the show except that I helped edit when it came in because Dick Sebast had already left. So I got to see it on the Moviola and help make some cuts in the initial and call retakes. So I still feel some ownership of the show.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And you shared with me a very interesting insight off camera about this title sequence, about how, well, I'll hand over to you to explain.
Yeah, we had an edict that the show was to be painted on black paper, all the backgrounds, and TMS always sort of objected to that, and I believe that from frame grabs of this episode of the title sequence, I think they might have painted that on white paper and simulated it. But you know, that's what I suspect.
Okay, so here we are. Episode begins.
I like that. I wonder if that was reuse, that we ended up reusing that for Mask of the Phantasm. It looks like the same construction site.
Yeah, I'd never noticed the similarities before. I mean, I suppose one construction site looks like another, right?
Yeah. I love the shadow color on Robin here. I wish we had kept that throughout, but I think it's a little darker color for some reason. You notice that the profile on Batman is a little bit different than later on. We adjusted because we were finding on Mask of the Phantasm they're having trouble turning from that flat edge to that sort of curvy chin. It didn't really turn properly, and so it never really came up as a problem until Mask of the Phantasm. So the model was adjusted for later episodes.
Yeah, I'd always attributed the differences in the models to just different studios, but it's interesting to hear that it was an intended change.
It was an evolution because we realized that they were having trouble turning him. So these are Mike Dietrich character designs for the thugs. They're nice and old timey looking.
Yeah, looks like Laurel and Hardy a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I'm surprised at a lot of the danger here and the stuff that the network let us get away with, stuff that looks like they were being, these guys are almost buying it. They're almost killing them, It's like, wow. But that's the nature of the show, and they let us get away with stuff. So,
yeah. I mean, in a way, this is also quite comical, isn't it? It's almost slapstick the way that he's just like tiptoeing along and sliding off the edge.
Yeah, yes, it is. It is. It does feel like a Popeye cartoon or somewhat. I feel like this sort of weird Art Deco looking rivet gun. It's clearly fanciful. We weren't really looking at reality when we were doing that. It's like almost like a science fiction piece or something. I don't know. It's like an old vacuum cleaner. Nice angle.
Yeah, these backgrounds are just
Oh, they're
beautiful, really
extraordinary. They're
expressionistic, aren't
really,
they?
oh, they're wonderful. It's It's funny because there you can see some of the timing we would have. There's places where we clip frames to make things go faster. When Batman swings, there's a weight and a heft to that
Mm.
thing, but it should have swung through a little faster at the end. And these are like times when we would go through in editing and clip a few frames here and there to make things kind of spin. So we'll go pendulum kind of go faster and slower.
Mm.
It's funny now I can't hear any dialogue, but it's okay. Um,
Turning it up a little bit.
Still can't hear. Still can't hear. Oh well.
Got a problem?
There we go.
Hey, come on! For pity's sake!
I love the danger they put these people. It's like at the very last second. It's awesome. They are really like.
It's funny, Batman didn't seem in much of a hurry to rescue that guy. He was so shocked.
No,
Billy
no.
married.
Yeah, yeah. That's true.
Forget it. Go. Police can take it from here. Go get the Batmobile. What? Now. Scum bucket.
Wow. Nice eyeball.
I love the insults that Batman's able to use.
Oh,
Scum bucket, slime.
Yes, yes. I love it. I like that this sort of now this is the shot that we ended up using later on for the Batman and Robin recut titles. There's in fact a lot of from this episode that was repurposed for that. When we had to redo the title to include Robin.
So that's it. No apologies, no explanation. Just see you later, kid. You know the rules. There are times when I can't explain. My hands even to you. Hey, that line worked great in 6th grade, but in case you hadn't noticed, we'll discuss these later.
Now they give such good performances. It's like they sell it so well.
What's going on? That's what I'd like to know.
Dun, dun. Blink, blink.
I'll never be like him, Alfred. Never.
Yeah, he's already not like Batman. He's actually eating his food.
Yes, exactly. That's right.
Whatever his reasons, Osterman has your best interest in mind.
I have to say, Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. was just brilliant casting.
He really was. He was so wonderful. And he really, just felt like Alfred in the room in that he was such a paternal, nice, person that just, he was just wonderful.
Yeah. He's got a warmth to him.
He really did. He really does. And did, and still does.
Yeah.
Interesting computer font.
Yeah.
It's like
Let's make this as hard to read as possible without being illegible.
But it's funny seeing all the names. These are all references to network people. That was Sid the Squid, Sid I Want Her, who ended up being a character on the show, and then Coburn was our censor, essentially, the BS&P person who let us get away with so much stuff. So we were honoring them. I drew the original drawing for this. It kind of got mingled in the painting, but it's like, a few generations away. A lot of these circus people were designed by Paul Rudish, who became like a big deal in animation on lots of cool shows. and is now famous for the Mickey shorts that he does. He redesigned the Mickey things for Disney. He's brilliant. We were lucky to have him for a short while.
Yeah, I like that they managed to work in the nickname Boy Wonder into the
Right. I love
It
that.
didn't feel too forced.
No, it feels believable. Oh, I love the elephant. Oh, it's marvelous.
Oh,
Okay, Sitka, give it back. Come on, you.
Sitka.
so here's a question for you. Now, I don't know if you
Yes,
know the answer. Sorry to put you on the spot.
please.
Now, Kevin Altieri had mentioned previously they weren't allowed to make any references to gangsters with Italian names, just because, no references to the mafia.
Right.
Get away with Tony Zuko.
I believe I think he's in the comics. I believe he was it was we were taking it from there. So I think we got away with that.
And I was wondering if perhaps the fact that his uncle was
Oh,
might have.
it might have, but I don't think they were. It was a general rule. I think we get away with it from time to time, but yeah, they just tried to like not make it like a standard thing.
So maybe one Italian gangster's okay, but you
Yeah.
can't have Maroni and Falcone.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, I like these carnies. It's like, it's like dun dun dun. But he's got the big striped shirt, so this is a beautiful panel. I love the slight diffusion, the glow of the light on him.
Yeah, it looks like there's just a little bit of Vaseline on the lens.
Yeah. It's they really did a wonderful job. And I love this bit. This is like, oh God, on the drink. There are people underneath him.
Yeah. Damn it, Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Paying for my dry
You
cleaning.
have to pay for my dry cleaning. Yeah. Hey, that's the guy. Oh man, if only he had spoken up. This is where censorship is our friend. Because I think if we had shown this in any more of a graphic way, I don't know if it would have been as effective. But the hint of showing the rope and the silhouettes and the shadows just work so well that I think actually seeing them fall would not have been as effective. I honestly do. I don't think. Because we see the danger, we see the height, we see there's no net. And it's like, and poor Dick is the only one to see we don't even see them fall on the spotlight. It's like, It's the rope. It's brilliant. And this was a clever way of not showing a crowd and showing a crowd at the same time. It's a cheat, but it works dramatically so well. The spotlight, Bruce Wayne, it's brilliantly boarded. It was really well done.
So I have to ask, do you know if there were any earlier drafts of it that were perhaps a bit more detailed, or did you just immediately go with the swinging ropes idea?
I don't recall the script. I'm not sure how. You'd have to ask Randy, but I know that was the director Dick really did kind of plan that out. He kind of like had to think about how do we show this without showing it, and I think he knocked it out of the park the very first time. I don't know if there was any more graphic version. This is a scene for some reason. This is the one that in the editing room we were watching the show with the crew, and Dick Grayson saying goodbye to his circus pals really got us emotionally. We were all like devastated by the death of his parents, but they're just like seeing all these people crying and seeing him go and the elephant waving goodbye. It was sort of, we all kind of like got choked up.
The elephant does it to me.
I think the elephant gets it, and It was like Bruce and I like noticed each other sort of like eyes sort of welling up a little bit, and he was just like, "Are you crying? No, you are." It was really cool. And that was like, before retakes, before editing, before music, any of that. It was just the visuals were pulling it off. So
And
I
one
love
thing I
that.
forgot to mention earlier, sorry, was it was a great seeing a callback to Commissioner Gordon when he had red hair and Bush
Yes,
the patrolman.
exactly. And it was uh, it's fun because that's like the callback when Bruce Wayne was in Mask of the Phantasm. The patrolman Bullock was in there too. So it's kind of neat. I think we'd already had that design, I guess. Um, yeah. Oh, poor kid. Big giant empty room. Man, they really like sell the solitary like loneliness.
Kind of weird having the bed right in the middle of the room.
I know. But he needs to have room to get around.
Yeah, true. It's a circus boy as well. He'll want to be doing like cartwheels and flips.
Exactly. Ah, nice Citizen Kane style giant table. It's like, what the heck? Oh,
Come on, 7.
Now this scene is wonderful. It's become a meme part of this. I'll point
really?
out. I'm sure you know which one, which bit I'm talking about.
Actually, no, I don't. I'm not sure. I have to look it up.
But Batman's disguise here is really good.
Yes. Yes.
Lucky 5. Yeah, the Seaman's combined lower, right? They say he's got that problem.
I love the lighting in this, though. It's so well done.
Yeah.
It just really nailed it.
Keeping out of sight. You're throwing off a lot of wonder. Someone from your school before. What you say your name was? Smith. Smith.
I'm surprised they didn't go with Matches Malone because that was his standard sort of street name.
Yeah. I love that the worst thing they can think of is that he is a policeman undercover, but
Yeah.
no,
Yeah.
you wish.
Yeah.
And that he's got his Batman costume right underneath.
Yeah.
Here comes the meme.
That's awesome. Oh yes, the knuckle crack.
Yeah.
Yeah, yes. It's funny because this you can see the layout really like enhancing and the supervising the animation here because it's very Japanese, even though it's done Yang. This is clearly the influence of those animators.
Okay, all right.
Cool.
And the lighting in this scene's great as well.
It
The
really
shadow.
is.
So film noir.
Oh, man. Yeah. It's like the shadows on the gate, just everything is just so perfect. I love how scary he is.
This isn't a social call. I've come for your nephew, Tony. You can't just barge in here making demands. I want him bad, Stromwell. Real bad. How should I know where he is? I stopped looking after that blue.
Yeah.
I'm getting enthralled in the
I
performance.
know it's so good. It's so good. The little quivers. One thing I find odd though is they're putting shadows on his white eyes, which is really cool, but it gives a dimension. But I somehow always picture the eyes sort of glowing more. That
Hmm.
having that depth is kind of odd for me. But I still like it. It's just not the way I picture Batman.
Freak. You won't be messing around here
I love bam. I like that we got away with having the hit, and even if it's a newspaper, it's just sort of like, it that first one is off camera, hidden by him. It's really neat. But it's I guess we could get away with the slaps because it's a newspaper. You
Yeah.
know?
And
It's-
it's got the added benefit of making Zuko seem like a dog, doesn't it? Like,
yeah,
Stop chewing
exactly.
my slippers.
Yes, exactly. Oh, these poses. Oh, man, we were just so lucky to be able to get away with that machine gun fire and all that stuff. Is just, every all the other shows were just sort of so jealous, so mad at us for being able to do that.
I don't know if you've read previously on X-Men, but I swear, like every 5 pages, they say, "Well, Batman got away with this, but we couldn't do it."
Exactly. No, they were really upset because they had to have laser guns, and there was just we were able to because, and I think largely because people know what Batman is and
Mm,
because of the movie.
yeah,
Um, and it's funny because this old costume, the belt, the logo, it all kind of informed the direction we wanted to go. We fell in love with this design so much, and we were like, man, we should have him look like this all the time. you know?
yeah.
Um, I'm actually old enough to remember uh, because my brother collected comics, and so he was around for the transition of the oval, the new look. So I was a little baby, but I still remember collectors complaining about it.
Yeah, and I can remember when they got rid of the oval in the 90s.
Yeah, and I was like, it's about time. Even though I love the Adam West show and whatever, and that oval is a great bat symbol and bat logo for the bat signal, but I just thought it shouldn't be on his chest. It just kind of wrecks it.
This is a really good scene as well. It's
It's
just,
extraordinary. Oh my gosh, the lighting on him, the window lighting on his, how they got that right. It's extraordinary. You're so lucky. Such a great animation crew on this. Again, I did the original drawing for that too. It's like,
yeah. Is that the same painting from Phantasm?
it is. It is. I guess he has copies of it in other rooms.
Yeah. You say that one doesn't look quite as good as the one in Phantasm. Maybe it was
Yeah.
another painter.
Yeah. That's it.
on this team. I call the shots. But I've waited half my life. Batman out. It's not gonna ace
Grumpy
me.
Batman's my favorite Batman.
Yeah. I like him too. And I also like Angry Robin. I kind of, I mean, I like him joking around and stuff, but I think Lauren gives a great performance, and he's really pissed off. I see the motorcycle kind of goes over a jump here. Oh no, that's the base that rotates. Okay, that's fine. I see what that is. But it's kind of funny how it zigzags. Oh, to be what will happen next? Uh,
Well, any final thoughts then,
that
Dan?
went back.
Or-
I just I remember just being uh, so affected by seeing the episode on the Moviola when we first saw it. It was just the crew was just, we knew we had a winner, and the fact that it won an Emmy, that was a bonus,
yeah.
So it was it was really a powerful thing. And considering that we liked the loner Batman, and we liked Batman, without Robin to some degree, not, no offense to Lauren, he gives a wonderful performance. We love him, but it was like that idea of Batman on his own is sort of like, that's kind of our picture of how the character works, um, and yet this really sold his relationship with Robin in a really powerful way. It was marvelous.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't really like the Bat Family very much. I prefer Loner Batman as well, but I like this episode. It's good.
Yeah. I mean, ultimately, when we did the Bat Family later on, it was fun. And it was sort of like we'd already done the Loner Batman for a while. So it was a nice way to sort of mix it up and contrast his darkness with other lighter characters and sort of Bat Dad. You know, but yeah, you know, we still hadn't gotten the Loner Batman out of our system, you know. So, just good times. Yeah.
It's good. And the good times are going to continue because we're going to be back later on with more commentary for part 2 of Robin's Reckoning. See what I did there?
Excellent.
Perfect segue.
Well done. Well done.